There's a moment, often unexpected, almost invisible, when you notice something different about yourself. Not in the way you walk or the way you look, but in the way you feel in your own skin. You might catch a faint scent on your sweater, or a hint of something when you lean in to hug someone. And suddenly the thought creeps in. Is this what people mean when they talk about old person smell? It's a phrase loaded with judgment, shame, and misunderstanding. And for many women after 60, it's a quiet fear, tucked away but never entirely gone. Today, I want to strip away that stigma, shine a light on the truth, and help you feel confident in your body. Not just for how it looks, but for how it feels, moves, and yes, smells. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I've spent more than 15 years helping women navigate the changes that come with age, changes in hormones, strength, energy, and body chemistry. And I can promise you this, the old person smell stereotype is more myth than fact. So if you've ever worried about it, you're in the right place. We're going to explore what's really going on, why it happens, and what you can do about it, with dignity, compassion, and science on your side. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to subscribe so we can keep building this amazing community of strong, informed women. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I love seeing how far and wide this circle of support reaches. First, let's talk about the myth itself. Old person smell is a term that's been thrown around for decades, often used to mock or distance ourselves from aging. But the reality is far more complex. What people think of as a distinct scent is actually linked to a compound called tonaninol. Studies have shown that as we age, especially after 40, our skin's natural oils change in composition. This is partly due to hormonal shifts, especially the drop in estrogen after menopause, which alters the balance of fatty acids on the skin. These changes can produce different byproducts when they interact with oxygen, and some of those have a slightly different odor. It's subtle, it's natural, and it's not a sign of poor hygiene. I remember working with Margaret, a 72-year-old who told me she'd stopped going to her weekly book club because she was afraid she might smell old. She'd shower daily, use scented lotions, and even change clothes twice a day. But the worry was still there. When we talked it through, she realized that the fear was based more on a stereotype than on anything her friends had ever said. In fact, the changes she was noticing in her scent were mild and completely natural. The problem wasn't her. It was the cultural lens we put on aging. Now let's look at what really drives changes in body odor after 60. Beyond the natural shift in skin chemistry, there are a few big players. The first is medication. Many prescriptions, from blood pressure pills to certain pain relievers, can change the way your body metabolizes and eliminates substances. Sometimes the byproducts exit through sweat or breath, creating subtle shifts in odor. This isn't harmful, but it can be noticeable to you, even if others don't pick up on it. Diet is another factor. As we age, digestion can slow, and certain foods may linger in the system longer, creating stronger scents from compounds like sulfur in cruciferous vegetables or certain spices. And while these foods are healthy, being mindful of balance can help if you notice a link between what you eat and how you smell. Hormonal shifts also play a role, not just in menopause, but in the gradual changes in adrenal and thyroid function that can occur later in life. These glands influence metabolism, sweat production, and skin health, which in turn affect odor. And finally, skin hydration matters. As skin becomes drier with age, the natural barrier weakens, and bacteria that live harmlessly on the surface can shift in balance, creating different smells. This is where a consistent, gentle skincare routine becomes your best ally. Here's the good news. You have far more control over this than the myth would have you believe. It's not about masking yourself with heavy perfumes or scrubbing harshly. In fact, that can make things worse by irritating skin and stripping its natural defenses. Instead, think of it as working with your body. Start with hydration both inside and out. Drinking enough water helps your body flush out byproducts more efficiently. On the outside, Choose a gentle pH balanced cleanser and follow with a fragrance-free moisturizer rich in ceramides or hyaluronic acid. These help restore the skin's natural barrier and support a healthy balance of surface bacteria. Next, pay attention to fabrics. Breathable, natural fibers like cotton and linen allow air circulation, which reduces the buildup of sweat and bacteria. Synthetic fabrics can trap heat and moisture, making odor more noticeable. Nutrition can help too. Foods rich in antioxidants, berries, leafy greens, nuts, help reduce oxidative stress, which is part of what leads to taurinol production. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish or flax seeds support healthy skin oils and reduce inflammation, both of which can subtly improve scent. I once worked with Jeanette, 66, who noticed that after adding more salmon, walnuts, and leafy greens to her diet, not only did her skin feel softer, but she also felt fresher overall. It wasn't a dramatic overnight change, more like a quiet, gradual shift that left her feeling more comfortable in her own skin. Movement also plays a surprising role. Regular exercise increases circulation, helping skin stay nourished and supporting detoxification through sweat. And no, that doesn't mean you'll smell worse. In fact, when you're hydrated and healthy, post-exercise sweat tends to be less odorous. If you're concerned about specific areas, like underarms or feet, mild antibacterial washes or natural deodorants with ingredients like baking soda or magnesium hydroxide can help without disrupting your skin's balance. For some women, a gentle exfoliation once or twice a week, using a soft cloth or mild scrub, keeps skin smooth and reduces the buildup of oils that can oxidize. And then there's the emotional side, because body odor isn't just about biology, it's about confidence. When you feel self-conscious, it can shrink your world. You might hug less, avoid social events, or hold yourself back from intimacy. But knowing the science and having a plan restores your sense of control. So if you've ever caught yourself wondering if you smell old, remember this: aging doesn't make you unclean. It doesn't erase your beauty, your presence, or your worth. It simply means your body is evolving, and with a little attention, you can navigate those changes gracefully. Margaret eventually went back to her book club. Not because her scent changed dramatically, but because her mindset did. She realized that her friends cared more about her laughter and insights than any subtle shift in her body chemistry. And that's the truth we often forget. People are drawn to our warmth, our stories, our spirit, not the minor details we magnify in our own minds. You are not too old. You are not broken. And you are absolutely not alone. Every stage of life comes with its own changes, but those changes do not define you. You define you. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe so you can stay part of this growing circle of strong, informed women. And if someone you love needs to hear this, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, send this video their way. Take care of yourself. You're worth it. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'll see you in the next one.